Brian Switek is the next.
Switek.
Switek.
Yes.
He has this is similar to some of the other scientific ones. I don't know exactly how you go about rating these things. I would give this more. I think he's very comprehensive, but he's less. He has less leaps than Desmond Morris or Steven Pinker, so I would give this more 4.5. It has some excellent moments. He's very open about his field, and he's a younger fellow too, isn't he? He wrote for one of those science blog sites and declaimed on that. Talk a little bit about this interview.
Well, I gave it the 5 stars because he talks about science and the business of science, if I recall. So he's not he's sort of pulling down the curtain behind the wall of science to a degree that someone like Morris, by the nature of the interview, didn't do, or Pinker, or that. Yeah, I mean, you could argue 4.5, 5. I remember it was a good interview. It reminded me of one of my video interviews that I did with this guy who was in a debate with Jack Horner. That I think it was the 9th video interview. He reminded me very much of that fellow, or they remind me of each other. I don't even remember much about it. I remember it's about paleontology, and yeah, so I don't really remember much, except that I was very impressed that at a young age he was talking freely, and he was talking very openly. He's certainly a lot more concise than Rollins or Pinker or George Dickerson or some of the others. But there are different types of ways to have a good or a great interview, and that's one of the things. Jessica, I know when we talk about things, I think sometimes like I said, she sometimes tries to justify people's poems, but there are other ways to get to be great in something, and that's one of the things I realize that a lot of other people don't realize. Whether it's a great interview or a great poem or a great piece of writing or something.